Erica and Sharon are sisters who began their grief journey in 2006 when Erica's 10-year-old son Austin drowned. Together, they participated in a grief education program, were so moved by this experience, they studied and became specialists so they could help the brokenhearted find recovery. In 2015, tragedy struck their family once again when Erica's oldest son, Donovan, was killed in a motorcycle accident. Erica and Sharon are committed to sharing their experiences of love, loss, and healing through this podcast. Now your grief specialists, Sharon and Erica.
Grievers need support. They need support in so many different ways, in so many areas of the grieving experience. They need support from their family. They need the support from their therapist or grief specialist. They need the support of their doctors. They need the support of their children who are also grieving. They need the support of their spouse if the loss is not their spouse. They need the support at work with their work colleagues. They need the support at school from their professors. I can't even tell you the different areas where the griever is requiring support and needs support to be able to get through this grieving journey to get to a place of healing. Unfortunately, support in many, many ways fall short, or it's over the top. So there's all different types of support. So let's get into it.
I 100% know without a doubt, I would not be where I am if it weren't for my support system. Starting with my siblings, everybody was amazing. My friend circle, everyone there was amazing. My coworkers, they were 50-50. It was, when you take your grief to work, it's a miss, you know what I mean? So it's a challenge. But my support, I was blessed in the support system circle, and I am thankful for that every single day because I know I felt everyone literally holding me up.
Sometimes the support falls short too, and we need to acknowledge that, like you were talking about at work. Sometimes the support falls short, but even the simple things are support.
Yeah.
You have a neighbor that happens to actually be our brother's best friend. And after Austin died for 1 year, he stopped at your house every single night. Every single night. We call him Uncle Shane. Uncle Shane stopped at your house every single night. Sometimes he brought the trash can in. Sometimes he told you a joke.
Yeah.
But it's not necessary that you guys were desperately talking about grief or talking about Austin. But he checked on you every day for 1 year. Man, that support is unbelievable. And the thing was, he didn't do the text of, hey, what do you need?
No.
Hey, I'm here for you if you need me. Let's just get that off the table. That is not support. That's the chicken shit way of telling your friend, I'm going to be here for you. Come look for me. Hey, while you're grieving and crying and broken and you need something, just call me.
In your free time, when you get a minute, you just call me and let me know what it is I can do for you.
So if you're trying to be the support, don't send that text. Just go do something. Go take their trash can in. Go take them a meal. Take a case of water and leave it on their porch. Write them a note. Send them a joke, right? Send a picture of you and their son together so they know you're still thinking about that person. Ask them straight out, how's your grief today? So there's so many different things that we can do in the grief field. He didn't do any of that. He showed up. Yeah. He absolutely showed up. He showed up every day for a year. I'm not saying you all have to make that commitment. I just wanted to share that story. So support comes in so many different ways, and the griever needs that support. They're not going to make it through without that support.
No. And sadly, it seems like that would be the easiest first step, right? The event happens and everyone rallies around the whoever. And you just rally, you just in different ways, like you said, bring the trash in, sending a dinner or whatever it is, taking them to get their nails done, whatever. But when it goes wrong, it goes so wrong. We have heard stories of family members kind of putting their pain above the person who had the event. So it's like, and then they're taking it away and making it about them,
Yeah.
or they're saying, oh, this is too heavy for me. I can't show up for you.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
I can't even imagine that. And that's what happens sometimes, is because we as the griever don't know how to help the griever, we try to get on the equal playing field. And so we start bringing our pain into the situation. We bring our pain, we bring our grief and our pain into the situation. And it happens a lot. Like you and I did a video once where I was like, I had to look at Erica every day and talk to her every day to know where my grief was going to be.
Mhm.
It's not that and I didn't realize I was comparing so much at first, which is not a great thing to do. But I was looking to you to see how I was going to go through the day. But what happens in reverse is that we don't even give you a chance to share your grief. We hit you with the I'm grieving more than you story so that I don't have to hear your story. It's almost like it's a protection mechanism for my own heart. If I tell you a yucky story first, then you're definitely not going to share that grief, which I can't handle.
That is so true. Let me get mine out first and start focusing on the drama I had at the dry cleaners before she starts trying to talk about how much she misses her husband.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because we can't sit in the pain. We just did that podcast about sad equals bad, doesn't equal bad. We can't sit in the pain. I don't want to sit in your pain. Well, first of all, I don't want to sit in my own damn pain, but I don't want to sit in yours and be there for 1 minute. We get uncomfortable in our own skin. We're like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So let me throw this yucky story out.
And then you also have to be careful of finding the people who you can deeply connect with because you share a similar pain, right? But then you become this. I love that we have a sister circle with some of our formal clients, and we just get on and we chat from time to time. But
hi, soul sisters.
I know, hi, soul sisters. But you can get a sister circle of pain, and so you're not addressing the pain, you're avoiding it. So we're going to go hit this happy hour, and we're going to go on this trip, and we're going to go hang out and do these things together because we know we have this pain that bonds us, and we're using our pain, because this happened, we need to go do these things, but you're not really talking about the pain or addressing the pain or really supporting each other in a sense of saying the sad stuff.
Yeah. Erica, answer this question for me. You said I had my work, I had my family, I had my this, I had my that. Let's not to offend anybody, but really when it came down to it, who did you really have? Who were the ones that you're like, I can pick up the phone and call this person?
To talk about grief?
I don't want you to say names, just, how many people do you think you really had? Because we're a family of five. While you're thinking about it, I'm going to keep counting. We're a family of five. We have probably, I don't know, in our dad's side of the family, is 120 people that we can point to and count, and we know them all. Cousins, right?
Yeah.
We know them all. And when I tell people this, they get blown away. So you had that, then you had your work, but how many were there really in that circle?
I would say that's really that I considered a safe space or a handful, like a safe space where I could really say some of the things. And then each person I could say different things to, right?
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
But I would say a handful that were really a safe space.
That were really a safe. You could say the ugly, you could cry with them, you could do whatever you needed to do. So there was about a handful. So when you really, because we kind of narrow it down. So I say that to say, so for me, even with Austin's death and with Donovan's death and with Daddy, I would say I really only had two. I had three. I had three. That's not a lot. When it really comes down to it, your support system is not going to be the ultimate support system.
Right.
Where you can say, I didn't say this, but you could say, I hated that person. I'm glad they're gone. Like you could really be that honest. Mm-hmm. It's going to be very, very small.
Without judgment.
Without judgment. Without them judging you. The support system is going to be really small. So you got to love that support group and know who those people are, right? So because you and I have just narrowed it down and we know that it's going to be 3 to 5 people that are going to be they're going to be the ones that are going to be with you for the long haul. They're going to be with you for the longevity, and they're going to be there no matter what. Sometimes grievers don't even have that.
Yeah.
They don't even have one person they can say, hey, I'm so glad you're on my support system, because their support person may have died.
Yeah.
Sharon, of the 3 that I counted, one of those are Sharon.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, I know. So think about that. What if Sharon was what if I told you I only had one and then my support person dies? That happens sometimes. We work with grievers all the time that their support person is the person that died.
And we briefly talked about this before we started recording. And I was saying, that's the beauty of social media. I always say it's a blessing and a curse, but that's the beauty of it, because there's a group for everything now. I'm in a turkey group. I'm in a peacock group. I have a life, people.
You
But I
mean
love
Turkey
birds.
the bird?
Like living turkeys, like not cooked turkey. I'm in a peacock. I'm in one for hatching, how to hatch. Anyway, that's me. There's a group for everything.
Yeah.
So the beauty of it is, and we have a grief group. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to plug it, but we do.
Yeah.
I've seen other grief groups because we have ours. I get other groups you might want to join. There's a group for everything.
Yeah.
You don't have to physically sit in front of who you deem your person or your support circle to get the support. You can connect with someone who lives in another country
Yeah.
via Facebook or any platform and get that support. So don't let the fact that you don't physically have a person in your presence stop you from finding the support, because they have access now, which I do love, compared to what? Austin has been dead 17 years this year.
Yeah.
17 years ago, it wasn't like that. You needed to go sit into a group.
Yeah. Yeah.
You needed to go to like you used to say, go to the hospital and
Yeah.
find the support groups. Now you can be in your bedroom and find it. So that's beautiful. Don't let that stop you. Find the group that speaks to you and where you can still say the things, because it's not so much the person giving you the advice. The advice is zero part of it. It's the person holding your space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's you seeing that name, Erica Honore, on the screen and commenting and just knowing that they're holding space in that group where you can say the ugly stuff.
Yeah.
I can't believe he left me. I'm so mad at him. I'll never forgive him.
Yes, exactly. And if you are one of the people that you don't have the support group that you wish you had, you have to go after it. You have to find it. So one or two things that I would definitely do is definitely join 1 or 2 support groups, be active in those groups, be actively talking in those groups, hanging out in those groups, posting in those groups, participating in the groups. That's number 1. The second thing is to find that one person that you can talk to. And it may be your therapist. It may be your grief specialist. But grievers need to talk. They gotta say the ugly out loud. They have to hear themselves say it.
They really do. It's the unburdening of your heart. I saw a post the other day and I completely appreciated and resonated with this. It's one of the kids' former teachers. She moved to another school. And we said we were going to do a podcast on this, that she's struggling. She has 2 daughters and they're at that young adult, right where Jordan is, and she's struggling. And she put it all out there and she said the ugly. And I can't even think of some of the words she used, but I was like, yes, somebody said it, because I too have struggled. We all struggle. If you're a parent, you have struggled. If you haven't struggled, I need some of what you got, because it's
Yeah.
that. And I just said to her, thank you for speaking your truth. It must feel good to unburden your heart.
Yeah.
Just to get it off. That feels good to
Yeah.
put it somewhere else. But also, I said, thank you for saying it, because I needed to hear it.
Yeah.
I needed that.
Yeah.
So That's the thing. You gotta get it off of your heart. There's healing in that.
Total healing in that. Total healing in saying that. Um, I love the support.
Mhm.
I really do love the support. Part of the reason that the support is so good is because you quite often feel like no one else in the world understands how much pain you're in. But then you get into a room, even if it's a Zoom room, with a ton of other grievers, and all of a sudden you realize there are others out there like me.
Mhm.
That likeness, right? You end up joining the grief gang. The
Yeah.
second thing is, is that sometimes you're struggling in a certain way and you can't actually articulate it, but having someone else articulate it for you helps you. It
Mhm.
helps you to understand it and get it and truly be able to move past it.
So, and sometimes your family cannot be your support. I'm
Yeah.
like, your family, as much as you love them and hold them dearly, they cannot be your support. What if you have the loss and everybody in the room, and that's the why we teach you cannot compare losses. Everyone's relationship to that person is their own relationship. So if you're in a room and you're all looking for the support, and you have the mother and saying, "Well, she was my daughter," and then you have the sibling saying, "Well, that was my sister," and then you have the husband saying, "Well, that was my wife."
Yeah.
You're all grieving, so
Yeah.
you can sometimes cannot be each other's support because you all need something different.
Yeah.
So it's okay to acknowledge that. Yes, you love them. Yes, you're all affected by this grief, but you sometimes can't be each other's support because you
Yeah.
need something different. And that's okay.
And that is okay. And be okay with wherever the support shows up for you. Yeah, absolutely, Erica. If one of my sisters or my brother were grieving the relationship or of a divorce with their spouse, I don't want to hear all of that. I don't want to be there for all that. There's some intimate details that you're better off not hearing. So that's true. So that's also, you got to judge your support. This is my support for this. This person does really well with that.
Yeah.
Some really intimate things, details that I need to share, and you might have a support. I think when you look back, Erica, and you look at the whole well-roundedness of your support actually came from so many different areas, depending on who the person was, when you were grieving, and what you were sharing that day.
Yeah, that's true. As my grief started to change, my support started to change.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's what happens with the griever. And that's why it is so good for them to have multiple different types of support that they can lean into. All right, friend, if you are the person out there and you do not have any support and you are struggling, we will be your support. We promise you. Join our Facebook group. Come and see us, subscribe to this email, set an appointment to meet with us, and just let us know you don't have the support. Erica and I are creating an amazing community of support for women who grieve, and we are here for you. We want to be that guide for you. Please allow us in. Thank you, friend.
Oh, wait, no, wait, one quick note. Just so you know, our group is for everyone. You know how you look on and they say, child loss, spouse loss, this and that. Our group is for everyone. If you lost your job, if you broke up with your boyfriend, if you lost your fur baby, our group is for everyone. We don't
Type of loss.
Every type of loss. Grief is grief. We are firm believers in that. We don't let anyone challenge. You are accepted no matter, even if you didn't have a loss and you just feel unhappy. Come to
Yeah.
the group.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Bye, friends.
Bye.